Hello. This tutorial is going to teach you how to remove background noise from Skype. So if you're like me and you have friends with either really bad microphones or a lot of background noise, then this tutorial is going to help you out. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is there's two things you need to download. Both of them are going to be linked in the description. The first thing is a virtual audio cable, and the second thing is a program called Vst Host. I'm going to link the 32-bit version and the 64-bit version, so get whichever one corresponds to your operating system. So after we have both of those things downloaded, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to extract the virtual audio cable and go into the folder. Now, if you're on a 32-bit operating system, you're going to want to run this setup. If you're on a 64-bit operating system, you're going to want to run this setup. So if you're on Windows 7 and above, you want to right-click on it and go to Run as Administrator. And when this pops up, you're going to hit Install Driver. Mine says Remove because I already have it installed, but yours should say Install Driver. You're going to click that, and then a dialog box is going to pop up saying that the driver was successfully installed. So after we install the virtual audio cable, now we're going to extract the Vst Host and then open up that folder. And then we want to open up vsthost.exe. And the first thing we want to do after we open this up, we want to go to File, New Plugin, and we want to select gate.dll. And then you should see something like this. The next thing we want to do is we want to go into Performance, and then we want to make sure this is checked, Auto Save Plugin Banks. Okay, after we have that done, then we want to go into Devices, and then Wave. And then under where it says Input, we want to make that Cable A Output. This is the virtual audio cable that we just installed before. And then under Output Port, I keep mine at Microsoft Sound Mapper, which will default to whatever your default playback device is. But if you want to change it to something else, like your speakers or any other kind of audio device you have on there, like your headphones or whatnot, then you can do that. But I leave mine at this. So after we have that set up, the next thing we want to do is we want to make sure we save the performance. So we'll go to Performance, Save As, and I'm going to name it Skype. And then we hit OK. Then we want to click on this little green icon under the gate.dll. Now this program is a gate, which pretty much the only thing you're going to need to change is the threshold here. So I like to keep mine at -16 dB because that seems to work pretty well. This might be something you're going to mess around with. Pretty much the way that a gate works is if I set it up at -16, any volume that's below -16 gets cut off, so I don't hear it, which is how it removes the background noise. Okay, now the very last thing that we want to do is we want to go into the Skype options. You can go there by going into Tools and then Options, and we want to go into the audio settings. And we want to make sure under Speakers it says Cable A Input, which is the virtual audio cable that we installed. And then you can hit Save. And one last note on this program is there seems to be either some kind of a bug or maybe it was the way it was designed, but every time that you close this program and reopen it, you have to go into Devices, Wave, and hit OK in order for it to actually start working with Skype. If you don't do that when you first open up the program, it won't work. And another thing is this program always has to be running. So once you open it up, you minus it down, it should go into the system tray, and you have to leave that up. You can't just close that out, then it won't work with Skype. So as long as you leave it open, and when you first open it, you go to Devices, Wave, and hit OK, and you follow the tutorial correctly, everything should be working, and you won't have any more background noise on Skype.